Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the blindfold taste test we're doing tonight is for two amber beers. Two of my favourites, it's these two. It is the Fursty Ferret and London Pride. And why these two? Well, they're both amber ales. They got a similar score on Untapped. I rate them both highly. I've drunk lots of each of them, and I thought it'd be good just to blindfold, compare and contrast and see which one I prefer. The London Pride is slightly higher ABV at 4.7, whereas the Fursty Ferret is 4.4. And we'll just read you a little bit of the bump off the bottle. So London Pride says, it takes skill, dedication and time to brew an ale this outstanding. It takes the same to play Premiership Rugby. Yeah, that is true. It does take a lot of effort and dedication and skill to do both of those things. Whereas the Fursty Ferret, it says, keep this beer close to hand. Our Fursty Ferret Amber Ale takes its name from a real ferret with a mischievous reputation and a taste for full-bodied, biscuity beer. Little Thief, by Latin name, and opportunistic by nature, legend has it that he once snuck up the Gribble Inn for a sneaky sip. So yeah, those are the two beers. We're going to do the usual. I will be blindfolded with my blindfold of joy, and my able-bodied assistant will be scoring. He'll be pouring, and yeah, doing all the usual bits and pieces that he always does. So, without further ado, I shall don the blindfold of joy. Not so much joy from Sarries this week. We've got bullied by the Bulls, and we lost. So, do the usual check of vision. Are you showing me fingers? Are you showing me something?
It's an item.
It's an item. I ain't got a clue. I can't see a thing, so we're good. So, my able-bodied assistant will choose one beer, choose the glass, and pour. So, pass me a glass, first of all.
This glass.
So, this glass. So, pick the first beer and show it to the camera.
Yeah. This beer is going into that glass.
Keep that bottle cap safe so we know which one is the first. And as usual, pour about halfway. There we go. So the other glass is going to be my Lemmy glass. And the second beer will be poured into this, which is
this beer.
That one.
Into that glass.
Same deal, about 50-50. And then carefully... Nope, I've not got it. Oh, there we go. Nearly lost the glass there. Right, so we're going to go for the aroma test first of all. And, yeah, not going to get the scarf in there. So, we're going to start with this one. Malty and twiggy. Slightly fruity. Decent strength. Smells like a nice beer. They're both nice beers, let's be honest. Whereas this one... slightly more bitter, slightly more twiggy. Yeah, this one's a little bit more intense. A little bit more bitter. This one's definitely fruitier. Oh! So, I want you to award the point to the second beer because it is just that little bit more je ne sais quoi. It's yeah, it's just more bitter, more intense, more twiggy, more brown, and that's what I like of this style of beer. So
has been awarded.
the next test is the body test. So we're going to start with the loser from the last round, which is this one. Medium weight, smooth, pillowy, cloudy carbonation. Really quite nice. This one. Similar weight, similar mouthfeel, but this one's a little bit more carbonated. The point goes to the first beer.
The point has been awarded.
So the taste test. So on a beer of this nature, I'm looking for twigs. I'm looking for malts. I'm looking for a slightly bitter hop. Maybe a little fruit characteristic. It really depends if it's overpowering and too sweet or not. So so we're going to go for the loser of the first round, or the last round, which is this one. So this one is, it is malty, it's twiggy, but it's the bitterness is coming across as ever so slightly metallic. So the second beer, it tastes more balanced. There is none of that metallic nature. Slightly caramel notes to it. And generally, overall, it's just a little bit nicer. So the point goes to this beer.
Points has been awarded.
So the next test is the finish. And on a beer of this nature, I am looking for longevity of that malt and a subtle bitterness to back it up. So we're going to go for this beer first. So as I mentioned, it starts off slightly metallic. And the malts are more, I don't know, I want to say one-dimensional. And a little bit, yeah, just a little bit, yeah. Not, I don't want to say uninspiring, I want to say simple. It's a simple finish on this beer. Whereas this beer, it is a sweeter finish. There's no getting away from that. But it's got a fruity hop on the back end. The malt is slightly lighter. It's not as bitter. It's not as twiggy brown. But that said, it is the more pleasant aftertaste. So the point is going to this beer in my left hand.
And the point has been awarded.
So, at this point in the proceedings, I shall ask my able-bodied assistant to top up both beers, ready for the visual test. So, first beer. Pass it back to me safely, so I don't drop the glass.
There you go.
Oh. And the second beer. Again, pass it back safely.
I can smell toast.
That's a good thing. Right. So, we shall now prepare for my blinding. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. That seems brighter tonight. They're not, because they're always the same. Anyway, So on the visuals on these beers, I'm looking for colour, clarity, and yeah, just general all round nicer looking beer. So similar colour, slightly copper and amber. Yeah, both similar levels of clarity. The heads, well, the heads are not there, but let's see if we can generate a little with a swirl. Six of one. It is 6 of 1, but the head is slightly more. No, maybe slightly more compact in this one. So the point goes to this one, the second beer. So I'm not going to try and guess which one is which, or am I? Or am I? One more sip of each, and then I will attempt a guess. Okay, I'm going to call it. We already know the winner is the beer in my left hand, which this is where I stake my reputation as a beer drinker on which one is which. Before we do that, ladies and gents, we're going to go to the other scoreboard of joy, because I forgot to do that, and I shouldn't do that. I'm going to tell you the statistics overall. So London Pride has had 204,000 check-ins with an average score of 3.41. Fursty Ferret 36,800 check-ins with an average score of 3.39. So they are very close to each other. However, I suspect the winning beer is the beer from London. Show me the scoreboard of joy. Da, 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 da. It is London Pride. London Pride. My pride is intact. So yeah, that is not really a surprise, but it is at the same time because I love both beers. I haven't tasted them side by side before. In fact, I don't think I've ever been in a pub that serves them both side by side before. But yeah, both are good beers. But it appears that the London Pride today was the winner on the bits that matter, namely the taste. Yeah, I like both. Don't get me wrong. The Fursty Ferret, whilst it tastes a little bit more boozy, is actually the lighter weight beer of the two at 4.4. But yeah, Fuller's have always put out fantastic beer. And I will continue to drink it until probably the day I die, or Asahi do something terrible to the beer. So yeah, so you won't dislike either beer, let's be honest, if you like an amber ale. But for me, I prefer the London Pride. Let me know what you think. Which do you prefer out of the two, the London Pride or the Fursty Ferret? And we'll leave it there and say, those have been the beers. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And this has been my able-bodied assistant.
Hi.
And we'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.